Alright, unlike the last theater ones, this is Critical Map 8, also known as Peak Cancer. Now, you may be wondering, like, oh, you're gonna beat it with Destroyer again. Probably not. Destroyer will do a lot of work, but I highly doubt she can solo the absolute hell that is Critical Map 8. So, let's just talk about here for a second. I got all my plus units actives. Now, Centaurus and Orthus. The issue with this is Orthus. So, Orthus is a super weak unit, right? Does like a little bit of damage, but its main issue is that Orthus will walk up to your units, open its mouth, and have like a 400 hit shield. And I don't mean hit points, I mean individual hits. You will need to smack those shields 400 times before they break. And if you don't, they just put up another one. So the issue with Orthus is that I've run into areas where I just get stalled indefinitely. And those goddamn Centaurus, you know, they use a bow. For some reason, the bow does like 700 damage. It can just one-shot dummy links. And it can also do damage over time by using fire arrows. I think that's Centaurus anyway. So what next? We have Dragoons and... Okay, no, this is fodder. Doppelsoldaten and Strelets, that's also fodder as long as you have a Rocket Hawk. As you can see, I have very high level Hawks. Now here we got Strelets and Uhlans. That is a really annoying setup if I did not find the hard counter in my team number 6. Right here. They are the hard counter. As long as you have a Taunt Fairy and two really high damage snipers and make sure to have a rocket, you can beat the Uhlans really easily. This formation is so strong and so hard to counter that it's been in like the last 5 theaters straight unchanged. Because you do need a super specialized team to beat Uhlans. Then you got a lot of Prowlers and Dinner Gates and a Jaguar. This one does a lot of damage. If you get them like 5 times in a row and you only have one night team, say goodbye because they're basically cucked. Oh, don't even get me started. Minotaurus Cancer, absolute cancer. So you know it says damage resist, damage over time, and missile. They're not joking. So this guy, he moves at a pretty fast pace and has a lot of HP. But you know how I said the Orthus will walk up to you and then he's just going to put his arms up or open his mouth and put up a shield? The Minotaurus does that. But he stops the shield, then does a multi-lane hit chain attack that does more damage based on the amount of dummies you have. So your tank with 5 dummies, bam, 5 times damage. They're done. Right? So the only way to really tank Minotaurus is you hope you only get them like once or twice per run. I fought them with Destroyer earlier on. They barely damaged the Manticore because Manticore only has 1 dummy link. But like you know that last part, missile. Okay, you don't kill them fast enough. Not only do they have ridiculous amount of health, I'm fairly sure every single boss in the game combined has less HP than 1/10 of Minotaur's shield. Right? That's how ridiculously tanky these guys are. Not only that, but you know how Doppelsoldats will bomb the battlefield? You know, you don't kill the Minotaur fast enough, they do that too. Stupid. And it's at nighttime. Pixies and Prowlers, you need 2 armored units if you want to kill Pixis. So a Pixis targets 2 units, right? And the issue is they do a lot of damage and they have a high rate of fire. They will completely melt through SMGs. You need shotguns, something with armor to tank their attacks. But once you have 2 armored units, they're kind of a walk in the park. Rec Center and Serenitis. You're going to need some mortars, right? At least a mortar to kill the Serenitis, because whenever the Rec Centers spawn units, the mortars will take care of these units. Back in the day, I used to use this because the Rec Centers also have armor. So I've tried to kill them with like a Knight AR team before. It was stupid. My team didn't die, but I think the battle lasted 17 minutes. And, you know, I'm not really about that. So overall, just a mortar and like a taunt target or some twin fairies and armor piercing. Preferably, though, you have Destroyer with her night map. What is it called? Night Vision offsets 100% of night battle accuracy penalties, which is very good. Next up, we have the Gladiators and Gunners. Now, I used to have a lot of issues with them back in the day, but because all I had was 2 rifles to deal with the Gladiators, and the Gunners tear through handguns. But luckily, Destroyer is really good at handling them, so it's not too much of an issue. The Patroller is, once again, he's a character that appears several times over the theaters and requires a very specialized setup. Echelon 6 is designated Ulan and Patroller killers. Right? They serve a dual purpose, as you need a taunt target for the Patroller to shoot. And the moment the Patroller's shield, his shield actually deactivates automatically. Once the Patroller's shield deactivates, you move out of the way. So I'm going to start the thing, and hopefully I win. I'm going to explain to you the strategies when doing each of this. Okay, we got Minotaurus up first. So, the thing is, if you look at your Hawks, they only get 6 uses each. You cannot use a Hawk for every single battle. I mean, you can't use 1 Hawk for every single battle. So the question becomes, do I use some Hawks to kill the Sereniduses so we can focus on Minotaurs? In my opinion, yes. We're just going to use M2 because M2 is the weakest mortar I have. So, first things first. You're going to make sure to put the 2 armored units up front to distract the Minotaurus, because those things are stupid. So you see they put up the shield, right? At some point, you see that they put their arms back and then they do a lightning attack. That's when you should move your units backwards. However, they're also stupid and they're bugged. So what happens is when they do their lightning attack, if you see the animation, the attack will play out regardless of what is going on screen. So essentially, they will move forward while blocking and doing an attack that they're not having an animation for, which is the worst and stupidest part of it. As you can see, how long have I been shooting and killing these things? Like, it's been like 40 seconds already, and look, there's still one standing with pretty much all of its HP, and they're still doing that stupid goddamn lightning attack, and look, he put up his arms again! So, essentially, you just stand here, shooting at him, and hope he doesn't kill all your defenses. I don't know any other counter to this guy. That's it. Okay, so we got Orthus and Centaurus. This one should be easy. Before, as you can see, it's a night battle. So I used the night ARs. Bad idea. The night ARs get completely chewed through by Centaurus. Hopefully, Destroyer can do better. I kind of have faith she will, but I'm not actually sure. I've never actually done this theater yet. Hopefully, we can tank it. I don't think so though. It kind of looks like the Minotaurs are getting their ass kicked, which kind of doesn't surprise me because, yeah, I mean you see the Orthuses, right? Their shields are dumb. They just don't break. They don't stop. So yeah, most likely Destroyer is gonna die here. But I mean that's fine. We ran into Orthuses and Minotaurs up front. Feeder is also part of the RNG, so right, you know, I might just fail this run, but honestly, don't cry over spilled milk. It's not like I can do anything about it. Theaters are kind of whack. There's a reason EX maps aren't nearly as cancer as theaters are. And it's because theaters are meant to be challenging. They're meant to be so challenging, and they can only be challenging reasonably to the point with RNG. So what we have Strelets and Doppelsoldats. That one's easy. We're just going to have a rifle focused on a blend of damage. IWS, WA2000, very simple, straightforward units. Now, you don't actually want to use a taunt fairy or a twin fairy for this. The reason is because that unit, that decoy they spawn, is considered a targetable unit by the enemy, obviously, because they shoot it. But that also means those Doppelsoldats will shoot from a farther distance if you have them active. And many times, I actually take less damage if I don't use one of those targets. As you can see, look, the Doppelsoldat isn't shooting at us yet because he needs to get closer. If there was a taunt target there, they would be targeting the taunt target, which is in front of the front row. Okay, so hopefully, so this is what I call getting desperate. So Destroyer will not survive another Centaurus and Orthus team, so we have to send in the night team. However, remember, Centauruses are in the back, and ARs and SMGs always target the people up front. Now, you may think, okay, well, I'll use rifles for that. No. No, the Orthuses will chew through your handguns. They will literally just chew through them. Like frame 1, done. So, the best thing to do is to panic and throw as many artilleries as you can at the enemy in the hopes that it kills the Centaurus before they can start destroying your front line. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's working because if you've noticed, UMP-45 is down to 2 links. The Centaurus are all alive. We still need to break through their shields. As you can see, they're not taking any damage. It's stupid. Vector's down, critical injured Groza, and that's done. Okay, so we got Dragoons. So we got some Dragoons and all these other people. So Sarah and Nina with the M2, not M2, but 2B14 I would consider the stronger mortar. And this is just a basic, really strong day platoon, but it's nothing groundbreaking. Using a mortar, I mean, look how bunched they're up together. Look at this. Oh, goodbye, Jaegers. Just done. Done. And right, they keep shooting mortars. Fortunately, of course, they do so much damage and are so accurate. Your frontline tanks, even something as good as CMS, will probably just get chewed. Alright, Gladiators and Gunners. Now, this one, as you can see, my normal Gladiator class, Destroyer, has been kind of killed. Like, Manticore and Aegis is gone. Jaeger is gone. The Manticore is gone. The Nemeum is gone. There is just Destroyer. And Destroyer at 25% HP is not going to be killing a Gladiator and several Gunners. Now, what do we do here? No, so I still haven't figured out a perfect strategy for this one. So it's either if you use Taunt Fairy, one of the Gladiators will get through. But if you use Twin Fairies, one of the Gladiators will get through. This is because whoever designed this enemy is asinine and makes them positioned in a way where they will just ignore one of the Twin Fairies. Which led to one of my IWSs dying one time, which was whack. But if I don't have Echelon 6, I can't kill Ulans and I cannot kill the Patroller. So it needs to be Echelon 4 with Twin Fairies. Preferably... Oh yeah, if you notice, we're on Wave 6. That means we get to use Hawks a total of 5 times. So there is no issue using the rocket. There is basically no downsides. You can use the rocket if the rocket is needed later on. Oh, cool. No, never mind. It looks like there was, what did I say, a glitch in the Matrix or something? Anyway, we'll cause them to move back, so the Gunners will stop firing and we can get some damage on them. The thing about Gunners is they're like Strelets, but way more lethal, and they have Force Shields, which is whack. Okay, so here we got the Doppel Soldats again. So you see I have to use the rocket, but I've conserved enough rocket uses that this isn't an issue. As you can see, the Doppel Soldats, once they have their shield broken, they just get completely foddered. Right? They're not nearly as... Oh my fucking god. Okay, looks like we're in absolute hell territory, right? This is panic. Every single Hawk. And let's see here. Do I use Echelon 4 or do I use Echelon 6? If I use Echelon 6, 2 Minotaurs will get through, and I'm fairly sure 2 Minotaurs will get through if I use Echelon 4. No, only 1 Minotaur will get through, but it's not going to be the one you expect. So let me think here for a second. Like I said though, Ulans and Patrollers can only be killed by Echelon 6, so I'm going to need to trust the powers of Echelon 4 here. Let's move everyone back. And then the Serenitis will do a lot of damage towards... Okay, and then they should be moving back now. Because otherwise they would have done the lightning attack way earlier. Or they're just going to start off with the lightning attack. I don't know if it's RNG, but it's stupid. Can't do anything about it. Anyway, one of them is dead. And then typically what you should actually be doing is waiting for them to unshield so you can do a damage phase. But, you know, when you have 3 of them, damage phases are pretty much whenever the game damn well feels like it, so you can't really plan around it. So Echelon 4 is gone. And we got Rex Center and some Serenitises. So once again, I can just spam Mortars and a Taunt Fairy to get rid of the Serenitises. This one should be okay. Yeah, just spam mortars and have a taunt fairy for defensive reasons. So the lucky thing is M200 doesn't miss. She literally does not miss when she has her skill active. So as you can notice, she's doing an absolute ton of damage to the Rex Centers. This one isn't too bad. As you can see, the Minotaurs and the Orthuses are really the cancer of the group. They're stupid. Absolutely dumb. It's RNG. If you get 10 Minotaurs, you're not going to win. Like fact. 100%. You're not going to win if there's 10 Minotaurs. It's over. Okay, so Serenina, and instead of one mortar, we're going to have everyone there. This is essentially, once again, Latch Ditch, and as you can see, a ton of the enemy forces just got destroyed by the initial bombardment volley. However, we're down to ARs. I'm going to go move Shrimp up front in order to tank a bit. Shrimp's probably going to go down. Oh no, she's alive. And then we get the fight center. Now, just take a quick look about how many units we're missing. Right, this is a very empty battlefield. Lots of people died. This was not a fun victory. And trust me, you can get a way higher score than I did if you just get good RNG. If you get if you get 10 Ulans, you're screwed because you need taunt targets for Ulans. And you do not have enough fairy points to do 10 taunt targets in a row. But you get the gist. RNG is basically the reason you win or lose in theater, especially in the higher level theater maps.